Hello, it's me again. I want to read something from Agmandino's University of Success. This is one of my old favorites. This is right now what I'm about to read, page 188. Chapter 19. This is from Father John O'Brien, Notre Dame University. Mr. O'Brien went into deep thought as he read the following, or actually discussed the following. On one occasion, Newt Rockne was visiting at the hospital bedside of one of the most gifted and brilliant players who ever walked upon the striped field of Notre Dame Stadium. He had all the evidence of a fatal illness. His name was George Gibb. He was nicknamed the Gipper. He's a legend for us. The Gipper brings inspiration and joy, hope, courage to every player who wears the uniform of Notre Dame. George Gibb is the only man of whom it has been said that he never allowed a pass to be completed by an opponent in his territory. After a brief talk in which Rockne knelt at his bedside and prayed to Almighty God to give George the courage and the strength to face the greatest event of his life, his departure, George Gibb looked up at him and said, "Rock, it's tough to go now." This was toward the latter part of the football season. "It's tough to go now, but someday," he said, "when the going is tough and the breaks are beating our players, tell them to go in and win one more for the Gipper. I don't know where I'll be, but I do know this, that I shall know of its occurrence." About 5 years later, when Notre Dame was playing its favorite adversary back in those days, 30 years ago, the Army, Newt Rockne had one of the weakest teams that he had ever coached at Notre Dame. The score at the end of the first half was 21-7 in favor of the Army. When the players trooped off the field into the locker room at intermission between the halves, Rockne told them the story of the Gipper with all the sincerity and emotion he knew how to express. And he said, "Boys, I know that the conditions are fulfilled which would justify me in telling you the story of the Gipper. I've never told it to you before, but the time has come. I know that the going has been tough today. Unfortunate breaks have been beating you down. You feel licked. But you must know, you must now regain the pride that has forever graced the player that wore the honored colors of Notre Dame. The Gipper." He told the story of George Gibb's last words to him, and then in a commanding voice said, "Let's go out there with enthusiasm and win one more for the Gipper." The players were emotionalized. They rushed from the locker room. They played as men transformed. They hit, they ran, they passed, they blocked. They transcended their known abilities. Rockne later said, "I have never seen a team of such mediocre talent play with such courage, vigor, zeal, and enthusiasm." And when the shadows settled upon that field that dark day in November, the score, Army, which is also known as West Point, 21, Notre Dame 28. And if you walk into the locker rooms where the athletes dress, you'll find on a bronze tablet those words, "When the going gets tough and the breaks are beating our boys, go in there and win one more for the Gipper." It is that spirit which I think year after year has taken players of rather mediocre ability, transformed them, given them courage, and an enthusiasm without which no battle of any importance can be won. Thank you.